Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in this world. And thank you for being here for Starflower Journals. My name is Kerry, for those that may not know who I am, and I am the creator of Starflower Journals. Yay! Okay, so tonight you have myself, me, and I. And I'm just gonna talk a little bit about various things that I've experienced since December that may be able to assist you, may not, but it's just to show you where I'm at. Before we begin with that though, I really would like to take a moment to thank you all for being here, for being present, and for tuning in, whether that's listening into the podcast or actually watching them. I'm very, very grateful. I also would like to take the opportunity to thank every beautiful soul that has come on and shared their journey so far, because as you can appreciate, sharing your journey, your life experiences, etc., can be quite daunting. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to allow that vulnerability to come up to the surface, but also sharing that with the world is a huge, huge step. And I appreciate every single soul that has come on here so far that has shared their journey, because their journey is helping many beautiful souls out there that may be awakening, especially with everything that's going on in this world at this moment in time. There is a lot happening. I think we can all agree with that. However, I tend to just observe what's going on in the world. I really don't allow myself to feed into that energy as such. I just observe with what's going on and I get on with my day. I create my reality. I step into joy and I choose to do that. I choose to do that because the energy and the frequency that we are at, if we are sitting in an energy of fear, scarcity, lack, we're going to create that within our life. Okay, so I allow myself to step in. It's not that I'm ignorant, or it's not that I don't care, it's not that I'm not concerned with what's going on in the world. To be honest with you, I don't feel that there should be any concern as such, and if that triggers you, I apologize, but at the end of the day, that's just where I'm at. It's just having the awareness and allowing yourself just to be you, regardless. Okay? I also want to take a moment to let you know that there are many beautiful souls that I've recorded podcasts with and are to be coming up within the channel. There have been a couple of days where I've taken rest and sabbatical because that's needed. Rest is very important along this journey, and this is something that I've come to discover as well. I am allowing myself the time and the space to step into a period of stillness and a period of silence and peace, because we need that along this journey. We need to disconnect. We need to allow ourselves to fully connect into who we truly are. So I have the beautiful Fred Rodriguez, a member of my soul family, that has beautifully and very kindly came on and shared his beautiful journey. That's an exciting podcast. And I also have our beautiful Jane come on and share her journey and her experience. Again, another member of my soul family, a soul sister, and both journeys are very knowledgeable and full of golden nuggets of wisdom for anyone who feels pulled to take from and make their own. And this is what these podcasts are all about. It's about these different experiences and these different journeys, because some beautiful souls out there may resonate with my journey or may not. But the various people in the various walks of life that come on these podcasts, you may be able to take golden nuggets from each journey and make it your own, because each journey is unique within itself. So, thank you everyone for being here. May we also talk about my hairpiece. This is not my real hair. I'm being really transparent with you. I absolutely love long hair. And I felt really pulled to really step into a place of taking care of my hair and giving my hair a bit of a break, because I love to put pressure on my hair. I love to put pressure on a lot of things in my life. And I've recognized that over the Christmas period that, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and we do in life. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to succeed and go above the norm as such. And I've really come into a space where I don't allow myself to do that anymore. I allow myself to just be me, and let everything else unfold around me. Let go and let God. Let go. It's time to let go. We're stepping into the year 2025. We're already a month into 2025. How's 2025 been for you so far? It's been an absolute We thought 2024 was fun. January's even more fun. But it gets better and better every day. If you believe it, you can create it. And this is the space I'm in just now. So 2024 was a big year for me to step into learning certain aspects about myself. And, you always feel along this journey that you get to know yourself a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's all the different layers that we pull down, and we take a really good look in the mirror. 2024 was a year where things that no longer resonated with you, whether that was, your career, your relationships in your life, your romantic relationships, your beliefs, if they weren't serving you, they were being removed from your reality. And a lot of people, and myself included, a lot of souls out there, and myself included, stepped into a place of really uncomfortableness. And I really have to say 2024, and maybe beautiful souls out there listening to me right now would agree that 2024 was quite a tough year for everyone. However, 2025, I feel, is getting better. Okay, the external world as such is looking a bit chaotic at the moment, but the internal world with regards to myself is looking better and better every day. And at the end of the year, I was put on my backside. Okay, what do I mean by I was put on my backside? I was ill. I was really poorly. I had this flu respiratory illness that's going on around the world at the moment, and it took me out. And it took me out for a very good reason. And whenever these things come into my life and my reality, I like to pause and I like to look back on and reflect as to what and why it's showing me, or what and why it's occurring. Okay. So I took that moment in time to really step into that space. And within that space, I could recognize that I'm quite hard on myself. And we are quite hard on ourselves because we put so many expectations on the self. And I had to really step into a place of complete uncomfortableness in the void. And I recognized and realized that I was playing many different roles again. And I wasn't allowing myself to be completely authentic. Authenticity is a very important energy for 2025. And authenticity is being your true self, okay? The accepting everything that there is to accept about the self. And there was versions of me that wanted to step in and wanted to be in my vessel, in my soul, but I wasn't allowing it because there was so much fear, there was so much shame, and there was so much guilt attached to that, okay? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about for this podcast the magic of you, allowing yourself to be magic, okay? Because we condition ourselves so much, we program ourselves so much because of external influences and what people may think, what people believe, etc. Can I just say that's their beliefs? And that's where they're at and good for them. But it doesn't necessarily have to be reflective on you. It's very important for the year 2025 that we step into places where we just allow ourselves to just be who we truly are, okay? If you're feeling fear, allow it. Allow fear to come in. There's no shame attached to that. Do not allow shame. If you feel angry and you're getting irritated and frustrated, it's okay to feel irritated and frustrated. It's okay for these feelings. It's okay for fearful. It's okay if you're fearful of what's going on in this world at this moment in time. It's okay. Allow yourself to feel all that you're feeling. And I had to really step into a place where I had to allow myself to feel all that I was feeling because I was suppressing so much by not allowing myself to feel all that I was feeling. There was many cycles that were being shown to me in 2024, and the main cycle was putting so much pressure on myself to achieve and be better and better and better every day, okay? I would wake up and put on so many tasks. I have to do this, 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 okay? And I would get it done, but I would be absolutely exhausted and I wouldn't have time for the self to sit in a space to reflect. So what I had to learn in 2024 was to break the cycles, okay? Break your cycles. Recognize what cycles you are playing at this moment in time. What is your cycle? My cycle is not allowing myself the time to rest, okay? And that sounds absolute bonkers. And I had to ask myself, what the hell is rest? I didn't even know what rest was. And when I allow myself to rest, even now I'm working through this. When I allow myself to rest and take the time for me, I feel guilty. I feel that I'm doing something wrong by doing that. And I had to go, what the hell is this? Like, it's completely normal to rest by being conditioned and programmed so much throughout my whole life that that wasn't okay, that that wasn't normal, that you shouldn't rest. You should always be doing, 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 doing. 2025 is a year where we stop doing and we let God. Okay, what do I mean by let God? So 2025, stop doing, let God. Be in your presence. We get moments where we're walloped by the fish, okay? And I am talking big time experience here where I constantly got walloped with that fish to put me on my backside. So I stopped doing. And it got louder. And it got hell of a loud. In 2024, the end of 2024, December 2024 was that moment where I had to stop doing and really take note with what was actually going on. And I didn't allow myself the rest. So I had to step into a place where I had to really tune into what my soul was telling me. And this is what this year is about, I feel anyway, is stepping into what your soul is actually telling you with everything, with your reality, what's going on externally, what's going on collectively, but also what's going on with regards to your own self. In For me, it was so uncomfortable, and it can be really uncomfortable. It can be really scary. It can feel like your world around you is crumbling, everything is shattering around you. You don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're headed. And I realized that I always had a plan, okay? I always had something planned. I always, foreseen certain scenarios, whether that was good or bad. I would always exaggerate those scenarios. And if those scenarios didn't come into my reality, I would again attach fear, attach guilt or failure, feel like I was a failure within myself. And I wasn't allowing myself to just be. It's important that we allow ourselves to just be, okay? There's no right or wrong. And, for myself, at the beginning of my awakening journey, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself because I was listening to so many external influences of it's not okay to be angry. It's not okay to feel those certain things because you're not of the light if you're angry. You can't be of the light if you're angry. Um, if you eat meat, that's not good either. It's not good for you. It's, not of the light. If you listen to certain types of music, again, that's not good for you. It's not of the light. I was listening to all this stuff and I was applying so much pressure on myself throughout my whole awakening journey. That again, I was conditioning myself, I was programming myself, and I wasn't allowing myself to be my true, authentic self. Okay. So I thought I was, okay, I thought I was in this place of my authenticity and my truth, but in reality, I wasn't because I wasn't allowing myself to just be. I got louder, really loud. So the end of 2024, when I was ill, I was in a really horrible space. And when I go into these spaces, I step into caves, and these caves I hide until, I'm ready to come back out. And I'll go quiet and I'll pull back, but I'll pull back from everything and everyone. And I become really introverted. I go quiet. I go ghost. And that's okay because that's a part of me. And I accepted that part of me. That part of me is okay. It's okay to be in those spaces. However, what I've learned throughout my journey is when we step into those spaces, it's not allowing ourselves to be in those spaces for a long period of time. Feel everything that you're feeling, allow it to move through you, but then step out. How do you do that? When you go into these dark spaces of this void, this fear, uncertainty, not sure with what's going on in the world at this moment, and you're absolutely terrified, how do you step out of those spaces? Okay. This has been a huge lesson for me as well because, I'd go into these spaces, I would spiral, people would talk to me, but I couldn't hear what they were saying to me because I wasn't at that frequency, I wasn't at that level to hear. So then I would create um a different scenario as such, a different outcome as such, because or I would feel that something was being projected towards me, but when it wasn't. Okay. So what I had to learn is when I'm in these spaces, not to allow myself to spiral. If I spiraled, that's okay. I was in those spaces. And I'm fortunate enough to have beautiful souls in my life that will point this out to me and will give me that kick up the arse if required and if need be. However, I was at a space and time there and then that I had to recognize in my own self that I was spiraling, and I had to pull myself out of my own cave. Okay. Nothing or no one can do that for me. I had to do that myself. Now, as my journey, my life so far, I have been a person where I've found it really uncomfortable to reach out and ask for help. Okay, I felt that there was something wrong in doing so, that I had to figure this out on my own, that I had to I had to do things on my own because I was conditioned and programmed in that way throughout my whole life. And what I had to come to recognize when I go into these caves and these spirals of this like fear and, not sure of what's going on, I had to ask for help. And that took a lot of fear to overcome. I was fearful of reaching out and asking people for help. I was fearful of being vulnerable with people. Even though in my mind I thought I was being vulnerable, I wasn't really being vulnerable. I wasn't reaching out and going, hey, look, this is what's going on in my life. Can you help me? And I always said to people, and I still do, a problem shared is a problem shared is a problem halved. But was I really stepping into that myself? No, I wasn't. Because I'm the type of person that will take on everybody else's problems, but then I wouldn't share my own. I wouldn't share my own experiences. And my beautiful soul family, I have a beautiful Patreon where I have beautiful soul sisters and soul brothers on there that come in and share their journeys and their different experiences. And it's just a little family gathering. I came to recognize even within that own space, I was allowing people to share their journeys, etc. But I was only sharing a little bit about mine's. And they didn't really know who I was, okay? Even in my mind, I thought they did, but in reality, they didn't. So, because I was fearful of allowing myself to be fully vulnerable and allowing myself to be who I truly am, okay? So, December, I got a kick up the arse, okay? By the universe, by a soul sister, I got a kick up the arse, and I got pulled out of that spiral as such. And I recognized that, I'm tired of being in this space, and I had to break that cycle. So how could I break that cycle? I had to reach out to souls. I had to reach out to my family. I had to reach out to my community and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. I didn't like it. I hated it. Why did I hate it? Because I couldn't accept who I truly was. I couldn't accept who I truly was. I'm the type of person that's quite fiery. I'm the type of person that's quite passionate. Passionate in anything and everything that I do. I am the type of person that's, quite sexual, to be honest. And, there's a lot of stigma that's attached to that. Oh, you shouldn't be like in that energy. You shouldn't be, that type of person. I'm the type of person that's quite crude. I'm the type of person that finds humor. And I recognize that's my inner child. I find, crude humor really quite funny. And I felt that there was shame attached to that when I allowed myself to be that crude self, or, people would judge me going, oh my God, she's a pervert, right? I'm not a pervert in any way or form, but that's just my type of humor. But I wouldn't allow that to come to the surface because, I felt that people would judge me for that. And I go on about, don't judge yourself, but I was judging myself all the time because I wasn't allowing myself to step into that. So I had to reach out to help and speak to my community and my sisters and my soul sisters and my soul brothers, and really allow myself to be completely vulnerable. And it's so uncomfortable because when you step into that space, you feel like you're completely butt naked and everybody's looking at you, and they're looking at everything of you, everything that there truly is. And that in itself is really uncomfortable. And you want to cry, you want to scream, you want to run away, you want to get out because they can see everything that there is to see about you. But we're in this energy where we can't hide anymore. Nothing is allowed to be hidden anymore. The light is getting stronger. And when the light gets stronger, the shadows will be revealed within the collective, but also within the self. If you're feeling uncomfortable at this moment in time, the light's getting stronger. The shadow self is coming to the surface to be shown. And it's okay for it to be shown. You're human. You're allowed to be human. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be fearful. You're allowed to be in these spaces, but it's being comfortable in these spaces and being completely authentic with who you truly are. I didn't recognize that about myself. I didn't recognize that I wasn't in that space. I thought I was. And I really had to allow that to shift. For me to shift it, I had to stand completely naked in front of everyone. And I cried. I released. I purged. I released. I used to always have this light whenever I stepped into that passionate version of myself. And there was a beautiful soul that came into my life. And I stepped into that version of myself, but I hid it from others because I was fearful of what they would feel or what they would say or how they would judge when I stepped into that space. However, this beautiful soul ignited that version of myself that I truly loved and honored. But again, I thought it was down to the external person. It wasn't down to anything external, it was down to the internal self. And I came to recognize that the internal self was crying to be in that energy, was desperate to be in that energy, but I wasn't allowing it because I was attaching, emotions of guilt for being in that space. And this external person of me allowed me to step into the full goddess that I am. I felt safe in doing so. And when that person exited my life, that version of me went. And when I was in that version, that I felt so much magic around me. I was in that space of creation. I was creating amazing paintings. I was, creating so many beautiful things. And when that person exited my life, I stopped because I felt that it was attached to that person. It never was. Nothing is ever attached to anyone. Nothing is ever attached externally because it's always within you. It's in you. It's in you. So when I really allowed myself to stand in that mirror and be vulnerable and be naked with so many beautiful souls, something shifted within me because I felt safe. And I felt like I was accepted for who I am and no fear, nothing. Whew. When you step into a space where you feel accepted, you shift. The magic of you lights up. The fire lights up. But nobody could accept me for who I am until I accepted myself. I had to accept myself, guys. We're in these spaces now where we need to let go. We need to stop suppressing. We need to step into the acceptance of the self, whatever that looks like. If you get confused, if you get angry, if you get fearful, it's okay. There's no shame attached to that. Accept it. That's just who you are. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The way I see it is, if you're not harming anyone, there's no wrong in that. But you're harming yourself by not allowing yourself to be that. Acceptance is a beautiful thing. There's so many times where I've never felt safe. And I place that externally. I didn't feel safe growing up. I didn't feel safe in my teenagehood. I didn't feel safe in my young adulthood. It wasn't up to anybody to make me feel safe. I had to be safe within the self, and the only way I could be safe within the self was to accept all that I am. The bad bits and the good bits. So if you're sitting here watching me today, getting emotional. If you're sitting here watching me today and you feel lost and you feel confused and you feel scared, don't. It's okay. In fact, do. I'm saying don't. In fact, do feel all that you're feeling. Ask yourself, why are you feeling those things? What's attached to that? Can you just accept that you feel the way you feel and let go? As the saying goes, let God drive the boat. We can't control what's going on in the world at the moment. We can't control outcomes. We just have to go with what we feel and trust. There's not a bigger saying than trust the process. And I'm reminded every day to trust the process. Not to put pressure on things. Focus on the priorities, but don't put pressure on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself for all that you are. The magic that is you. When you step into those places, watch your reality shift. Watch your joy come online. Watch everything start to unfold. The magic. It's scary. But I believe everyone that's watching this at this moment in time need to hear this right now. Step into your magic. The world, the collective, the consciousness, the energies want us all to do this, is step into that magic. Don't focus on what's going on with others. Focus on the self. The self is super important for 2025. The self is where we need to be right now. If you don't feel that you want to do something, don't do it. Do what's right for you. Do what's right for you at that moment in time. If you get up one day and you've got 101 things on and you're like, I don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't push yourself. If you feel resistance in anything, do not push that. And this is a message for myself also. And I have been in this space recently, hence why there wasn't a Starflower Journals last week. I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel that it was needed, nor did I feel I had to come on and explain myself. Allow yourself to just be you. Just be you. Step into your magic. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no harm. You're not harming anyone by being you. With that being said, it may be a short podcast this evening, but I feel that there's a powerful message within this one. It's okay to be naked. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be scared. Allow yourself to be. This is why it's important to have community. This is why it's important to talk, to reach out, to speak everything you want to speak. Don't hold back. If you hold back, you're only holding yourself back from the magic that you are. You're doing yourself a disservice by not allowing yourself to be who you truly are. I know this. I've gone through it. I've experienced it. I stepped into it. I feel nothing but joy. I observe with what's going on in the world, but I don't allow it to affect me. I don't allow it to pull on my energy. I don't allow it to drain my energy. If I wake up and I don't feel like doing something, I don't do it. I let myself rest. Allow yourself to rest. It's okay to rest, my lord. It's okay to sit down and watch TV. It's okay to sit down and watch a book if you've got 101 things on your plate that day. And yes, I get it. I can't do that. I've got this to do. I've got that to do. I've got 2 girls. I've got my own little business to run. I've got a house to look after. I'm a single parent. I have so many hats to wear. I have to be builder. I have to be, fixer. I have to be the handyman. I have to be the cook. I have to be the chef, the chauffeur, the mum, the parent. I have to do all of that on top of everything else that I'm doing. And it's uncomfortable as hell when you've got 101 things to get on with. I get it. I've been there. I still am. Yesterday evening was a prime example of that. I woke up yesterday. I was like, I've got all this to get done today. And my body went, nope, you will rest. So I put my hoodie on, I parked my bum, and I allowed myself to rest. Then my body was like, okay, it's time to get on with things. So I got on with it. But then I allowed myself to get overwhelmed because there was so much that I had to do. Again, a lesson there for me. Do what you can. Pressure on yourself to do absolutely everything on your list. Hit one thing on that list. If you hit 2 things, wonderful. Everything else can wait. We put so much limitations on ourselves with regards to time. And maybe all of you out there will notice that time is speeding up. And there's not enough time to do things in a day. I feel that too. However, the more I push, the more resistance I feel, the less I get done. When I just allow and do what I can, the flow happens. Flow happens, and you achieve so much more in flow than you do in resistance. This is something I've also discovered. is allow the flow to happen. You achieve so much more. So the big message this year is for 2025, step into the authentic you, everything that you are, accept who you are, find your community, allow yourself to be all that you are. If nobody can accept you for who you are or the magic that you are, they're not meant to be in your life. They're not. That's scary letting go. I know. I've been there. You can let go. They can still be in your life. You don't have to prove yourself to anything or anyone anymore. We're not in that energy. The people that love you will accept you for everything that you are, warts and all. Find your community. Be that of love. Love yourself. Stand in that mirror. Be completely buck naked and look at the magic that you are. Because you're magic. You're magic. If you would like to be part of my community, I am opening up a few more spaces on my Patreon. And I'm opening up at £1 per month. £1. I don't know if that's $1.20. I'm not sure what it is in American currency or any other currency. But I'm opening up 10 more spaces at £1 per month. And if you feel you want to be part of my community, the offer is there. There's no need, there's no requirement. I just want to reach out and offer anybody community that feels that they need a community at this moment. And you can stay there for as long as you need. It's not about money. I would open it up free if I could, but because it's Patreon, the least I can set it at is £1. So I'm setting it at £1. If you want to be part, please join, because there's so many beautiful souls within my community. There's so many beautiful souls within my beautiful soul sisters community, my beautiful Tay-Tay's community, my beautiful April's community. I'll leave all their links there. Go with where you feel your community is, okay? But I would really like to open that space, and you're more than welcome to come join for a month and leave if it doesn't suit you. I just want to offer that to everyone, okay? That's the intention. I just want to offer it and let it be. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for listening. If you've made it to the end, thank you. Because you don't have to listen to me. Nobody does. But you choose to, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. With that being said, I look forward to sharing the beautiful journey of Fred Rodriguez next week. I love you. Keep being you. I will see you soon. I didn't know what I was going to say there, but I will see you soon. And yes, I absolutely love my hairpiece. And yes, it's fake, but it's okay. I'm being authentic and transparent. I didn't drink some magic potion and grew my hair overnight. Of course it's fake. Anyway, I love you all. I will speak to you soon. Take care.